I don't dress like this all the time, but when you guys are watching, I do it for you, baby. Like, follow, subscribe, baby. You know what to do. Since you're here, I thought I might as well just give you a tour of my gym, because now that I'm done with my Fruit Ninja stuff, all 10,000 oranges, we got a lot of free time on our hands. So let's get a little tour of the gym. Tour of the gym, tour of the gym. I'm a little hot, so I'm gonna drop this down a little bit. So I've been building up this gym since 2012. I started out with 2 kettlebells and a TRX. And it was my dream to be a professional athlete at the highest level. And I realized, like, you know, hard work is a big part of it, but then also the equipment. And you start out on a little budget, and then all of a sudden you become a baller. So I'm gonna try to give you guys the inside scoop of what it feels like to have built up a home gym as a pro athlete over nearly 10 years of professional competing. So we're gonna start out in what I like to call Cardiotown. Cardiotown is where I get all the aerobic work done. I think every single one of these pieces of equipment is like unique and special. And I'm gonna tell you guys how much this really cost. Started my career until about now, of how much it cost, how long it took to accumulate. Assault bike was one of the first pieces of equipment that I ever got. They gave me this one for free, and I have bought assault bikes on my own, but this right here, I'm gonna give you guys like the whole tally up at the end. This is around a $700 piece of equipment. Concept 2, this is really incredible. This is more of like your long distance version of cardiovascular work. A really great piece of equipment. This is around $1,000. This right here, this Proform, this is something you can attach and then go do those like digital online workouts like Zwift. Zwift is a really cool thing where you can go and compete against people all over the world in like a virtual cycling tournament. So this is really essential. That doesn't include the bike. This right here was when I signed with Dick's Sporting Goods. Part of my career was they gave me a shit ton of gift certificates towards buying equipment. And that was a great deal. I'm still very thankful, Dick's. This is a $3,000 treadmill. I think a treadmill, if you are an athlete that is focused on running, this is one of the most important pieces of equipment I have in the gym. I love this. This right here was one of my first pieces of equipment too, guys. This Concept 2 rower is amazing. It's taller than the normal one, so if I ever do burpee over rower workouts, this thing sucks. But essential, I think this is probably the most amazing full body piece of equipment you can have. And then my most recent addition is this Concept 2 ski erg, and this is another $1,000 piece of equipment. Absolutely incredible, like, you know, tons of fun to work out with. It's a unique piece of equipment, not the most essential, but if you're gonna be doing things like I do with high rocks, it's important you have that. And I'm gonna show you probably one of the most expensive pieces of equipment that I have, and probably what makes almost this entire gym obsolete. This is one of my most recent ads. This is called Tonal. This thing right here has so much weight and so much diversity in it, it almost makes the rest of my gym obsolete. I'm telling you guys right now, this is $3,500. This is probably the most beneficial thing you can have inside of your gym. If you're not gonna be a CrossFit athlete, you're just a strength athlete, you're just trying to keep yourself overall fit, this is the most high-tech and most amazing piece of equipment you can have. No joke, I'm not being paid to say this. I'm just letting you guys know right now, invest in this if you're building a home gym. These 2 boxes right here, you know, they're pretty basic pieces of equipment. I'll tell anybody who's going to be doing work, the extra investment of having this soft material is just, I mean, it's infinitely important. You do not want to get yourself hurt. Training is just something you do to be ready to compete, and also just something you can do for fun to stay healthy. The more that you stay healthy and uninjured, the better. This is one of the more dangerous pieces of equipment and you wouldn't even notice it, so go soft. Now we're gonna go what I call Bicep Town. Bicep Town is something that's pretty incredible. A recent hole in the gym, a cougar came in the middle of the night, was trying to get to me because I'm so delicious. He tried to go through the cement wall. As you can see, he did a lot of damage, but we stopped him. But let's go here. Probably one of the more essential pieces of equipment is a squat rack. I went for tall because I started to do more CrossFit. Titan Fitness actually makes really affordable stuff. This was only like $300 for this rig right here. You have to bolt it into the wall. It's really secure. I would say probably the cheapest and best thing you can get for a starter in the gym. These crossover symmetry sets, they're about $200. Really good if you're gonna be getting into CrossFit, rock climbing, anything that's a shoulder-based sport. It's really important to have these. I started to do more CrossFit. I started to get more equipment like this to keep myself safe. TRX, this is a newer one, but I had an old one or I can't find it right now, RIP. It is very cheap, very versatile, and you can travel all over the place with it. This is only like 100 to 200 bucks. It is worth the buy. Okay guys, definitely get those, atomic push-ups, all that kind of gear, super swaggy. Big Blue from Iron Mind, I think this is only around 100 bucks. I filled that thing up only once to 180 pounds to get ready for Broken Skull Ranch. It has never gotten any lighter. Always feels like it's getting heavier, to be honest, and it's indestructible. It's just basic. I just filled it with sand and then tied the loop around the top. It's still incredible. This right here, Reverse Hyper by Titan Fitness. This thing right here, if you go to Rogue Fitness or you go to any of the more expensive sites, you're looking $1,000 plus, $1,500 even to get this, 500 bucks for this. I hurt my back 2019. These pieces of equipment right here is just like unbelievable how good it is at healing your back, taking some of the pressure off from heavy lifts. I think it's great, it's really versatile. I do almost all my posterior work on it, and I also do some kind of tricep and bicep and lat work with it. It's a big piece of equipment. Sometimes it's annoying as all hell, but I love the thing. Boom. This was my first big investment in the gym for strength training. This Ethos Rack was around $700. You can do almost anything in it. It's got great pull-up rigs across the top, all these incredible pins and things like that, so you can start to do a lot of safety squats. You got bolts down there so you can do squats with bands and bench press and deadlift with bands. This is the most versatile piece of strength equipment I have in the gym. I could get rid of almost all of the stuff that I have and keep this. I'd be pretty gosh darn happy. With all the bolt-ons and stuff, it was around $700, $800. Bands, I didn't really use bands for a long time, and then I started to research Louis Simmons, and you start to realize how important that banded tension is. Now, it gets expensive to have to buy into bands because there's so many different kinds of band tension, like, you know, and also lengths of bands. This actually ends up being a more expensive thing you can imagine, and even if it's like $20 to $40 a band, I have like 20 bands here, so you can do the math, like it gets to be up there. You know, so this may be about like a $400 band collection right here. And they don't necessarily break, so I wouldn't worry about it. All these accessories over here and stuff, pretty simple things, probably about $10 to $50 a piece. Well worth it if you guys like to just be versatile with your strength training. Kettlebell Collection, this is one of the things I got really into when I first started training, because I started to read about all these crazy Pavel Tsatsouline, all this kind of stuff. It was trendy. Kettlebells are a total bitch. They hurt a lot, they're harder to use than dumbbells, but they're so versatile and indestructible. It's incredible. Like my dumbbell collection's all bent up. These kettlebells, these two kettlebells right here were the first two pieces of equipment that I ever got. Dude, these things are 10 years old. I love them. I'm addicted. I have every single size, all the way going up from 10 to 70s. It gets to be an expensive hobby though, and very annoying to track around. I'm telling you guys, if you get invested into CrossFit, good bumper plates are the way to go. They range anywhere from $2 to $3 a pound though. That's a bitch. It's crazy. These competitive plates end up being a lot easier to lift with. It just feels different. The better the bar, the better the plate, somehow the smoother the lift. If you get really into lifting, you're gonna invest in it, and it's worth the investment, but it's also expensive. It's not necessary. It's damn cool. I'm just telling you guys right now. It keeps my chalk in it, but it's good. Dumbbells, everybody who's to do strength work and loves to do bodybuilding and stuff, I think dumbbells are just that piece of equipment that you think you definitely want to have. It just feels like it's a different kind of connection to your body when you do dumbbell work. Dumbbell RDLs, dumbbell bench press, I love the stuff. This is some of the most expensive section of my entire gym per size. Some of these dumbbells right here, the pairs of 100s, come up to $500 plus, and then if you include shipping in, it sucks ass. But I'll just tell you, worth the money. This right here, this gym clock, go to Amazon, 150 bucks. I fought it for years. Now that I have it, I use it every single day. Totally freaking worth it, dude. I love the stuff. Bars, okay. The more addicted to strength training you get, the more addicted to the variety of strength bars that you have. These bars right here are about 175 bucks a pop. Ohio bar could be over 200. I have 3 of these bars. I have Silver Surfer. Now this is a $75 bar. I don't know if you can tell, but it's bent. That's what the difference between a $200 bar up to a $600 bar is. Some are $1,000 bars. This thing's bent from doing deadlifts over 400 pounds. So invest in a better bar. That right there, that bamboo bar, that's one of my favorite toys that we have. Anytime we're just having just a rowdy session with the guys, it's one of the coolest pieces of equipment. I started to watch James, gosh, what the heck's his name? He played for the Steelers. He was one of the most What's that?
Harrison.
James Harrison. I started to watch him do that kind of stuff. I started to do my research and I learned that some of the strongest athletes in the world were using them. So I got invested. I got myself one. It's only around $200, but it's worth the money. Accessory equipment. You're gonna need clips. Each one of these things, it's like $12 a pair. These go up to like $25 a pair. These things go up to like $40 a pair. You don't even wanna know how much money is in that box. Okay, you get more into getting jacked. You get all these strength wraps. Nick sorted this all together.
Wrist wraps.
Oh yeah, wrist wraps, all that kind of stuff. Gets pretty freaking expensive. All these things, knee sleeves, gets mind blowing. Belts, each one of these things is over $100. This right here is one of the greatest pieces of equipment, guys. Like, stability is something you really, really need to have, especially if you're an athlete, not necessarily like a fitness athlete. If you're gonna be doing trail running, all that kind of crazy stuff, get one of these pads. Totally worth it. This whole section right here, like Rolling Thunder, all this piece of equipment, these are absolutely amazing. I'm addicted to having toys like this, because what's the point of being jacked unless you can do crazy things with your strength? Rolling Thunder is one of those things that ends up being kind of expensive, but at the same time, totally worth the addition. One thing I'll tell you guys about, cheap but amazing, $19, those perfect push-ups. You have no idea how good of a pump that you get from doing something like that. Unbelievable. This over here, this is my OCR box. All of these, there's probably about 15 to 20 handles of various things that I'll hang through a rig and go through. When you're getting ready for OCR competitions, something like the Spartan Games, anything like that, you need to have that skill set. Like, you can do monkey bars and things, but eventually you're gonna get yourself in a position that you don't know what you're doing, and that means you're not gonna be doing well. Just letting you know, if you get serious into OCR, worth the investment. Now we're gonna go over into the Strongman section. Obviously, we got this humongous dead ball, 150 pounds from XT Official. Heavy, annoying, but amazing. Like, when I was doing Broken Skull Ranch stuff, super important to have. I would say invest the money into Strongman gear, because you will end up getting almost stronger than you could with a barbell. And it's a different kind of strength, but it's a necessary kind of strength. If you're a rugby athlete, a football athlete, a wrestling athlete, anything like that, it's important. This GHD, around $500. They're kind of annoying to have in the gym, but at the same time, a powerful core is a safe core, and a safe core means that your back's gonna stay safe. You're not gonna get yourself hurt while doing heavy lifts or doing crazy sports, so worth the money. Wall balls, everybody knows what those things are. They're actually more expensive than you think. If I were you, if you wanna just be a badass, don't even invest in the $20 wall ball. Go for 30, and then when you go to gyms with other people, you'll just beat the crap out of them. This right here is my Strongman section. Like, I actually have a pretty versatile Strongman section. Some of the equipment's missing right now just because people have taken it out during COVID, and I've lent some equipment out to be a nice guy. This right here, Big Bob, he's a heavy mother flipper. I hated it, but I was training for Broken Skull Ranch with this guy almost exclusively, week after week in the hot sun, to get ready to wrestle people. And I know it wasn't real wrestling practice, but it was tough enough to make me a badass when it came to push came to shove. That Titan Strongman log, it was just something that I wanted to have, not necessary, but still a lot of fun. The sleds, that was probably the third piece of equipment I ever got right there. Absolutely amazing. I would say that made me tougher than almost anybody. If you guys watched during the Spartan Games when I was able to outwork an NFL first draft pick guy, it had nothing to do with the fact he was stronger than me. I'll give him that. But those sleds right there, I was spending time stacking plates on, doing hard ass intervals with that, and it made my legs tougher than him. So when push came to shove near the end, I was able to break through. Push sleds, same exact thing, totally gnarly. That big dead ball, almost nobody touches that thing because it's almost too heavy for anybody to pick up. About once every couple months, someone picks it up, and I'm just like, are you manly enough to do it? It's part of our belt system here at the house, which I'll do in another video for you guys. We have belts going all the way from no belt all the way to black belt. It's absolutely insane. I'm the only person to ever complete it, but I'm looking forward to people coming to visit and trying it. This right here, pre-core, it's important to stay flexible, not important to own that thing. Sorry, pre-core. This right here, True Form, is a badass piece of equipment. I think it's really fun to have during WODs. It's a little bit tougher to do any kind of long distance, but it's good for intervals, and I always like to have it. So like if I'm doing like a rush WOD to get ready for high rocks or DecaFit, this would be it. You just want to charge through, sprint really hard on this thing, get off transition, get back on. I like it a lot. We're going back around and you guys can get to see. We got some more Strongman equipment through here. As I said, it was really important to me getting my career going with Broken Skull Ranch. That's essential. I'll tell you guys right now, this is not gym, but it's fitness related. All of these bikes, and we're a couple bikes down, this is like something that's really made me an awesome athlete. I own 4 bikes and 1 unicycle. I will say, you know, this bike right here is around $8,000. That one's $3,000. They're expensive, but at the same time, it's something that I love to do. It allowed me to push my fitness so far because I feel like cross training is the one thing that's kept my career sustainable, and it's kept me in really good shape year round because I haven't really had to beat myself up going so hard with running and then coming off the shelf, having to recover my leg. I would say biking, especially for bigger guys like myself, is absolutely essential. All in, guys, I will rally up the numbers. Liam, what are we looking at?
With the bikes, it's around $36,000.
So you heard that. Liam, the statistician, says about $36,000, and it's pretty mind-blowing. I know that's a big number. It takes time. Think about it, 10 years. And if you imagine investing about $3,000 a year for 10 years, that's what you're looking at. Like, you don't necessarily need to have all the equipment that I have. I could probably do with about 50% or even less than the equipment that I have right now, but understand that each and every single one of these pieces has pushed me to be a champion in some section of my career, and I'm thankful for it, and the investment's worth the time. And if I get tired of it, I give it to somebody else to kind of pass it forward and help somebody else out. And I would say, guys, if I could give you any tips right now, let's say you just have like a $1,000 budget, get yourself a sled, get yourself a good bar, and get yourself a good cardio pieces of equipment, whether it's a rower, a skier, a assault bike, and that's about it. Like, that's really what you need. And you will make yourself a freaking freak. And a pull-up bar. Obviously, you need to have a pull-up bar. If you guys want to bump it up a little bit higher, I would say you guys can start to get better pieces of cardio equipment, but in reality, just keep on investing in the things that are going to make you a better lifter, not necessarily just so you can tell people that you own rogue equipment. I actually always go with almost cheaper people because I'm into affordability, sustainability, not reputability. But, you know, I don't really care what people think of what I have in my gym. I care about the banners that I have on my wall from championships and stuff. So I hope you guys learned a lot. We're gonna keep on bringing more information like this. Obviously, I don't dress like this all the time, but when you guys are watching, I do it for you, baby. Like, follow, subscribe, baby. You know what to do.